Sergio says, what does upper hand mean in the following phrase? He got the upper hand in the discussion over the match. So this is kind of a strange example. Upper hand is good, but the discussion over the match is a little bit odd here, because usually we talk about having the upper hand in the match itself if we're talking about sports, or in the discussion. But the discussion over the match? Okay. Well, let's just talk about what it means. So if you get the upper hand, you have an advantage. It doesn't mean that you've actually won. It doesn't mean that you're actually the victor. It doesn't mean that you've actually crushed or defeated someone. It just means you have the advantage right now. The upper hand goes to the one who's maybe ahead in points if we're talking about sports, or maybe who has the most support if we're talking about an election, or maybe who is, in the discussion that we're having, the one with the most logical ideas, the one who's able to express themselves best, right? That might be the person with the upper hand. We could use it in all kinds of different situations. Social situations, athletics, competitions, businesses, and usually it's an advantage given by something. We often talk about the cause. For example, two companies, they're in the same industry. One is a local company from this country. The other company is an international company, which is also here. Now, the local company might have the upper hand because the local government has given them some special privileges, given them some special access that the international company cannot get. So because of that, they can have the upper hand. Or maybe it goes the other way because they have so many resources, because they have more money to spend. They can spend way more money than this smaller local company. But you could talk about that in a relationship too. In a relationship, a marriage, boyfriend and girlfriend, one has an advantage in some way. In a discussion, in a debate, in a sporting event, in economics, in whatever kind of thing where you can imagine one thing or one person having an advantage over another, usually we're talking about what the advantage is and why it's there. That's also very important. What the advantage is and why it's there. Okay? So in this case, if we're talking about the match itself, we say the blue team, I don't know any sports teams, I don't watch sports, has the upper hand right now. They have an advantage because they're ahead by 2 and there's only 10 minutes left. They're ahead by 2. They're up by 2. There's only 10 minutes left in the match. They have the upper hand. Someone else might say, oh yes, they have the upper hand right now, but what about if maybe the other side can turn the tables? Turn the tables means change the advantage to the opposite. Or if we're talking about the discussion, maybe one person has researched or prepared for the discussion about whatever. And because of their research and their preparedness for that, they have the upper hand. The other person is kind of ignorant. They don't know what's going on. They don't have details and dates and numbers to give. But the other person has been researching on Wikipedia for the last 2 hours. So they have the upper hand. That's the idea. We're talking about advantage. We talked before about IELTS. If you want to do well on IELTS, if you want to have the upper hand, you need to know how it works, how the exam works. So hopefully that answers your question. Sergio, it's a good question. Thanks a lot. Guys, if you haven't already, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe or follow, and also check out my full courses in the links in the description.